Hi, am I live? Okay, great. Oh, I'm actually gonna fucking move that right there. Yeah. All right. Okay. Hi. Welcome back. I've got a bit more better lighting and stuff. Oh my god, it looked fucking washed the fuck out. It's so dead inside. I'm not wearing any makeup. I hope I don't look that bad. I hope I don't look as dead inside as I actually feel. Not gonna lie, whatever. So, I just wanted to have a quick chat or something right now. Bored. Haven't had a video in a while. So I've been, as people know who've been keeping up with my shit or whatever, I've been trying to get back into reading more. So some of the books that I've been reading, trying to get back into Kurt Vonnegut's Cat's Cradle. What's it called? Got the Lucifer Effect. Have a few the basic writings of Nietzsche. And then I also, I think about a week or so ago, Jordan Peterson released a follow-up to 12 Rules for Life, Beyond Order, which I ended up, that day he made like a video or something about it, talking about its release or something, talking about like 35 minutes for going into Beyond Order. So he made that, and then later that day I ended up getting not just Beyond Order but 12 Rules for Life as well. So I've been reading that as well, although I'm one of those people that has to do shit in sequential order, like the order in which books come out. So I'm reading 12 Rules for Life first. So yeah, it's really interesting. Been reading that before bed, usually in the bath, although it's a pain in the ass because I fidget too fucking much, so I can't usually take my books in the bath with me anymore, or too much, because I just can't stop fucking moving and getting fucking, there's so much water on this fucking book right now. It's fucking bad. So I'll never be able to sell that when I'm done with it. But it's really interesting. Dude, and lobsters, man. Jesus Christ. Whatever. I'm more partial to shrimp, bitch. I love a good shrimp cocktail, but that's okay. So that's it's kind of cool. And then I've also been reading I have a few other books that I bought that I really am kind of worried. I have them right here. I can't believe I fucking bought most of these, but I don't even want to like publicly state what these books are, because well, okay, for one, fuck it, whatever. All right. Doing the 48 Laws of Human Nature from Robert Greene. I'm really surprised how far I actually am in this. Oh fuck, where did my page go? No, where'd it go? Oh wait, yep. Wow, I'm on 97. I'm on page 97. So, I'm hugely conflicted with these books in particular. I have quite a few of his books, and I intend on reading all of them because I want to do the smarter thing that I think I've talked about in other vlog episodes of mine, where just fuck it, bite the bullet, read everything what a person is saying or whatever, and just understand what the fuck is going on and what they're trying to say. And something so far that Greene has talked about in his books is the subject of being a rational person. And that really, really stood out to me because ever since I saw a particular movie I think it was like 2 years ago or something, the movie Mother from with Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem, directed by Darren Aronofsky. There's not many things that I've seen in my life in movies or literature or whatever, for example, that deeply unsettle me that I won't watch. I think I can name off the not much stuff genuinely terrifies me. This particular movie actually fucking did, and I wasn't able to watch the entire thing all the way to the very end. I literally had to turn it off at the most, if anyone's seen it, the most climactic part. So this is one of the things that genuinely terrifies me about like why I don't usually like to be in crowds nowadays. I just don't like being around a lot of people because honestly, I've gone into it in like previous blogs about stuff that I've been around. The two people who I was involved with, a former female friend, and a man who I was sexually involved with. I'm not going to say romantically because that shit wasn't fucking romantic. Let's just say that. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about later in this vlog. But so long story short, in the movie Mother with an exclamation point, towards the very end, Jennifer Lawrence plays a character who it's just the entire movie is just fucking anxiety climbing and climbing and climbing throughout the movie until some of the worst fucking things you can think about happening to a fucking human mother, whatever, and her newborn baby at the hands of people who have been afflicted with basically mass hysteria. And it's fucking goddamn terrifying. It's one of the most terrifying movies I've personally ever seen. It's one of those things that not much that I've come across in my life genuinely fucking terrifies me. But that movie Mother was to this day, like, it's one of the things that worries me about being in big crowds, period. So I even tend to be a little antsy when I'm even in some rooms where there's like a chunk of people in there sometimes. It's not bad nowadays, but still it's like a nugget of anxiety in the back of my mind. There's it's an anime TV show. It was, I think, Helsing Ultimate. There's the original Helsing anime, and then there's the Helsing Ultimate, which if you've seen like Full Metal Alchemist or whatever, they have I think the more manga faithful adaptation, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. I think that's the one. So Helsing Ultimate basically is just a different version of Helsing. I think it's been a while, but there's one of the main character is a young woman in her 20s, younger than me now or whatever, or right around my age. Something happens to her where we find out why she has abstained from sex. And one of the reasons, it's about vampires and shit. One of the ways where a person can be turned into a vampire but keep their sane mind or whatever, instead of becoming a mindless fucking blood-sucking drone, is if they are still a virgin, basically, and they haven't had sex yet. And so in the climax of the series or whatever, we find out why. And it's something that to this day also deeply unsettled me. And it's like, it's fucking morbid. And honestly, it's one of those things where I am hugely surprised that that was put in an anime. But then again, a lot of anime is very fucking dark. I haven't seen it, but I still want to, I still want to see it just to check it out. But the Berserk series, I hear it's fucking gnarly. And then Parasite, I also want to see. And then another one, it wasn't that bad, but it's still pretty heavy, but I love the show, is fucking Death Note, not the fucking horrendous Netflix adaptation. Oh my god, so bad. So Death Note was pretty fucking cool. But yeah. And then there's another thing that I have come across, but I've never seen the movie, is the Serbian film, won't fucking touch it. I know some stuff that happens in it won't fucking touch it. I've literally even warned my mom and my brother, if you ever come across something called the Serbian film, stay the fuck away from it at all costs. There's this like when it comes to like culture, like pop culture, movie, when it comes to art or something, I just feel like we seriously need to draw a line between what is still okay to be considered art and still able to have a discussion when it comes to art versus what is fucking pornographic and like just really not something we should be fucking touching with. And so back to laws of human nature is just like the subject of being a rational thinking person. When you see something that you don't like or agree with, or something that genuinely upsets you, something that I've been really, really adamant on ingraining into myself, that I really liked about this particular book so far is being a rational thinking person, identifying irrationality in others, and I don't know, basically learning how to handle it and shit. So, yeah, I'm very conflicted with these particular books in general, because some of these books, like if you actually Google them, some of the articles written about these books are literally like they're calling these books a psychopath's Bible. I shit you not. Like Google it right now. Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power, which I also have because I just want to read it. Robert Greene's 48 Laws of Power is being hailed as a psychopath's Bible. And after hearing shit like that, like I'm just like, it freaks me the fuck out, because on one hand, like, I guess when it comes down to it, it comes down to intent. Like, yeah, you can read these books all you want, but like, what are you going to fucking do with that information? I think that really just says everything about you when it comes down to it. So honestly, I'd rather just do the smarter thing and just learn about what the fuck is being said. And then I have to also bring up that another one of Robert Greene's books that I came across first, this is why I bought that book, was that just because of the back cover, the bullet points on the back of that particular book, being an educated person on the various ways that I have been manipulated and abused in my life, it's horrifying to find those listed on the back cover of a book like this as a basic how-to instruction guide on how to basically fucking manipulate and abuse people psychologically and emotionally and in every way you could fucking think of, or possibly without fucking lifting a fucking finger. And it really, it genuinely upsets me. And I feel like the best thing that I can do to, I don't know, maybe fucking combat that kind of shit is just read about it, understand if this shit really is a psychopathic Bible and stuff, if these books really do teach people how to be psychopathic and how to manipulate and abuse others, and fuck it, expose the shit out of it. Why not? Fuck it, YOLO, yeet. Freedom of speech. So, yeah, just my heart fucking dropped. And especially after reading something like Jackson Mackenzie's Psychopath 3 and realizing some of the shit that happened to me over the last 10 years of my fucking life or whatever. And then learning what was done to me, learning that every fucked up thing that ever happened to me actually has a fucking name for it. Like, this shit is like subject of triangulation. Choose your victims. Like, really? It's create confusion in your victim. Like, that shit's listed on the back cover of this particular book. Not this one, but, this other book of his that just, like, it's really upsetting because, when I think about this kind of stuff as a whole, this notion of producing something that basically can, depending on how you use it, of course, actually spread evil and negativity and manipulation and knowledge on how to abuse someone or whatever. It's like, fuck, dude. It makes me think of the greatest battle of all, the battle between good and evil. It's like, I feel like from what I've learned so far in life right now is that you can never completely eradicate evil. The best that you can do to combat that is to do whatever you can to keep it at bay for as long as possible. Now, I don't know if you can't ever truly eradicate evil, and honestly, like, realistically speaking, I don't think we will ever be able to like truly eradicate evil or whatever. But then again, what the fuck even is evil anyway? You know, some people will say that there's only power. But yeah, I feel like on one hand, it comes down to your intent, what you do with the knowledge that you've come across. You know, on the other hand, like, for the people who do deliberately use this kind of shit with ill intent towards other people for their own benefit, you know, maybe the best thing that I can do, like, is help kind of expose what they're fucking doing, or at least do what some people I've come across in the last 3 years of my life do what they do, like, you know, help educate people on how not to be fucking used and abused. So, you know, those are people that I really fucking admire and who really inspire me to want to keep fucking going and really genuinely do something meaningful with my life. Is like, you know, if people are going to be bad people, the least I can do is help educate people on how to spot them. Like some of the people I admire most, especially out of their own fucking pain, they choose to educate others and help others come out of their own pain. So that really matters to me. So, but yeah. So the laws of human nature is really kind of fascinating so far. I'm really surprised I actually got really into it. As far as like, it kept my attention. Because I noticed that when I'm reading, let's say, an actual story versus a kind of like real shit kind of book or something, stories keep my attention much better. So sometimes, like, when I'm reading other like informational books and stuff, I do kind of get a little bored. But I'm surprised that this actually has genuinely kept my attention, because I do find it fascinating, and ultimately I do want to do this smarter thing and actually just understand what's being said in these books. And then, of course, always keep in mind that it's really what you do with something that's been given to you, or what the information that you come across. It's really what you choose to do with it. Do you choose to use it? Do you choose to use it for good intent or ill intent? And that really just says everything about you. So yeah, that's something. And then, yeah, that shit. So real quick, I have, so I've had a cough for over a year. It's fucking great. But, so about a month-ish ago, I was finally able to schedule a breathing test from my pulmonologist. My breathing test came out fine, checking my lungs and stuff. My lungs are fine. It's great, but still, it's like, you can't find out what the fucking going wrong. So my pulmonologist prescribed to me, he thinks that something's going on with my bronchial tubes, that my bronchial tubes might have some kind of like infection, or they're inflamed for some reason. So he prescribed to me a steroid called prednisone, which is fine or whatever. And then he warned me of like two specific side effects. A lot of energy. Like, he told me some people have been like reported to spend all night fucking vacuuming or some shit or whatever. And then it gives you a false sense of appetite. So he told me to just keep an eye on how much I'm eating, and then that kind of stuff. But then I'm glad that I started looking up some of the other side effects because the other night or whatever, because so it's 3 weeks, 2 pills every day in the morning for the first 2 weeks, and then reduced down to 1 pill for the third week. And then I got a follow up. So tomorrow's going to be the middle of the second week. So last week was a really fucking rough week. Like, over the weekend, the mid to this past weekend was really fucking rough for me, because I noticed that I was like really, really upset a lot. I think on Friday or something, I had a really fucking bad emotional breakdown. Like, I'm literally going on my walk and stuff, and just, there's so much shit getting to me right now. And I'm just like, fucking, don't do it. I'm not gonna fucking do it. I just don't want these feelings. But, yeah, that my walk the other day was really bad. Just fucking stopped on the trail that I was walking on, just bawling my fucking eyes out. So the other night, thankfully, I'm looking up some of the other side effects, and it says mood swings. So I'm like, oh, that's why. So thankfully, yesterday I had my therapy call with my therapist, and I gave her the lowdown. I'm like, oh. So yeah, another side effect of this fucking thing is mood swings. So, and not only that, but I'm kind of upset because I kind of fell into a few emotional flashbacks as well, which I think led into that breakdown the other day. So I gotta get back up on top of that. But thankfully, I've become aware of that, so it's much easier to catch now. But it's still like, I want to put more effort into catch my shit. So but yeah, thankfully I'm halfway there, and hopefully this does something for my cough. So I guess prednisone, it's a steroid, and it'll help, I guess, reduce inflammation in my bronchial tubes and make the inflammation go down and fuck off, and I'll stop coughing finally after over a year. So yeah. I'm also trying to stay more active. Ooh. So I bought a couple weeks ago, I actually bought a beach chair to keep in my car. So I've been going down to the beach, and it's fucking great. It's been so nice, apart from a few rainy days. Oh, fuck that. Go away, rain. No one likes you. I've been hanging out down at the beach downtown, in my hometown. And I actually started working on like a new wood burning project. It looks like a freaking compass, and it's got a lantern in the middle. So I plan on doing a hell of a lot more detail. I'm just trying to I'm trying not to look at references, because I get stuck in the research phase and the accumulation phase. I think it's like hoarding shit. But I'm trying to put pen to paper and just fucking do it. So hopefully once I just start doodling and drawing lines, and then that's usually what happens whenever I start writing or whatever. I just start writing down, I don't know, scenes that I imagine in my head, and then I just write it down in novel form or something, novel format. And then finally I just start fucking word vomiting, and it's the greatest fucking thing ever. God, I love that, getting in the zone when you're doing something, especially when it's creative and artistic and stuff. So seeing this much detail on a plank of wood or whatever is genuinely really fucking satisfying for me, because I love not clutter, but I love seeing progress, I guess. So I'm really proud with how it's looking so far. So I just got to figure out, I don't know, what else to do for it. And just keep active. Bit stupid, but I actually had some stuff that I bought back in September to make a fall themed wreath. I got this like gigantic wreath or whatever that has like 2 prongs on the bottom to like have it stand up. And I also ended up hanging a black lantern in the middle of it. And then I finally got all my shit out and my fall themed stuff, even though it's fucking like spring. Don't judge me. Don't hate. Masturbate. I'm gonna put that on a shirt. Don't take it, it's mine. What? It's healthy. Don't distract me, naughty little minx. But I fucking just did it. Oh yeah, here's some. Had a bunch of like fall leaves and shit, and I just glued the mixed shit out of it to this fucking wreath, and it looks fucking beautiful. I love it. It's so pretty. Orange is my favorite color. So that's something I haven't done, that it's been sitting in my fucking closet for several months, and I finally fucking did it. Oh, those projects that, you know, you say you like fucking get and you have all the stuff, but you haven't fucking done it. So I'm making progress. That's the important thing. It's great. I love it. Yummy. The other day, I finally got around to making this really great playlist. And I'm like sitting here at my desk just making a playlist of all kinds of really great songs that I fucking love, that I just always have the urge to just get up and dance or something. Ironically enough, I don't feel like dancing from the Scissor Sisters. If you don't feel like dancing, why do you make such a fucking catchy song, dude? Flyers from Bradio. It's from an anime that my friends Ashley, we call her Casper, they got me into. I'm the Bomb from Electric Six. I'm Still Standing, Elton John. I Say a Little Prayer from Aretha Franklin. Shoot to Thrill. Sweet Child of Mine. Just Shambhala from Three Dog Night. Just great upbeat songs that never fail to like get me in a really great fun mood. So that's something like, you know, I would encourage people to do is, I don't know, aim for like music. Music is just fucking amazing. It will work wonders and shit. Yeah. All right. That it? Okay. My heater's turned on. Oh yeah, I've been streaming on Twitch. It's fun. It's really fun. It's one of the few things that like, apart from getting the actual equipment, like a game capture card, it didn't really cost me that much. The game capture card was literally the most expensive thing. It was close to $200. But other than that, I have plenty of games that I can stream, and I just have so much fucking fun. The downside is that I stream on my computer, which is like a 4 or 5-year-old MacBook Pro, and MacBooks fucking blow donkey dicks when it comes to streaming and video games and shit like that. So I'm working on getting a new computer, which I'm surprised I can afford it. And that's great, because I'm going to get like a fairly powerful computer that'll last me a couple years, and I'll be able to do a lot more stuff. It's just been really frustrating because I can only really stream from like 5 or 6 in the evening till like whenever, because that's when my connection's best. It's a pain in the fucking ass, because even then, like last night I had to end the stream early because my fucking stream is so shitty and choppy, and it's so embarrassing. So yeah. Okay, I'm done. Okay, until next time. Okay, bye.